that's despite the fact that the deductibles are through the roof. I would say you have to get hit with a Komatsu tractor in order to use your deductible. It's true. So I gave a speech and I said, we are going to make this country great again. I said the American, and it's a tough one, and I say it sadly, the American dream is dead, but we will bring it back bigger and stronger. Politicians are all talk and no action. Look, I've dealt with politicians all my life. It's just like this Club for Growth.
Yep.
It's just like Club for Growth. You know, I've dealt with these guys all my life. I deal with these people. All talk, no action. Now, Club for Growth does action. They sent me a bill. But politicians are all talk and no action. And I'll tell you what, our country is dying because of it. They're dying. We have people that are really good at keeping their jobs. We have people that are really good at fundraising. We have people that are really good at everything but making our country great again.
Yes.
And we can't let it go on. We can't let it go on because we can't continue a couple of more years of what we've been going through. Last week, the gross domestic product, GDP, came out. It was less than zero. Less than zero.
Negative.
It was negative, correct? It was a negative. You look at the different stats coming out, and I think we're in a bubble. I don't like predicting bubbles. Bubbles bad for me, bad for everyone. I think we're in a bubble. We have artificially induced low interest rates. We have a stock market which is ridiculous, which benefited me. I actually bought stock. I was very good at this. You know, bought stock. I said, how can you not when you get the money for free? But we have a false stock market. We have a lot of problems. And we have unemployment that's probably close to 20%. The real number. The real number. I'm not talking about 5.6%. I'm talking about the real number. You look, I go to a job, I'm building a big hotel in Washington, Pennsylvania. I mean, anytime they know I'm going to be there are 100 people on the street trying to get a job. They hear I'm driving up. The street is loaded up with people wanting to know if they can get work. That's not 5.6%. There's some bad things going on in our country. And we will take care of it. So we're going to take some questions now, and it's a great honor. You know, we've done fantastically in New Hampshire. I have so many friends in New Hampshire. A poll came out recently that had me doing unbelievably well. And that was when everyone thought I wasn't running. There were so many people who said, he's not running. He's not running. Why would he run? They said, actually, why would he run? He's got this great lifestyle. He's got this wonderful business, wonderful family. Why would he do that? Because I want to make our country wonderful. And then they said, he'll never run because he's not as rich as everybody thinks. So I gave a financial statement yesterday. I'm much richer by like 4 times. I'm much richer than people think. And I don't say that in a braggadocious way. Like close to $9 billion. It's a lot of money. But you know what? I'm not saying it braggingly. Because, as you know, Mitt let us down. He let us down. I don't know if he choked. I don't know what happened. You know, it's like an athlete. You can't sink the putt. You can't hit the ball with the bases loaded in the ninth inning. Something happened that was not a good situation. Because that was an election that should have been won.
Yeah.
Close the deal. Gotta close the deal. Who said that? I like that. You gotta close the deal. Didn't close the deal. Looked like it was going to be closed, never got closed. And you know, say what you want about Obama. Every night he was on the television. He was on Jay Leno. He was on David Letterman. He was on. I said to Mitt Romney's people, why aren't you on television? Why aren't you doing it? You have no choice. We can't let that happen again. We can't have another 4 years like what has been happening. So we're going to do something that's going to be very bold. And the reason I mentioned, and I say this, the reason I released my financials way ahead of schedule, and by the way, I'll do all of the official filing, you either have 30 or 45 days. You're allowed very lengthy extensions. I don't want to read extensions. I don't want extensions. But the reason I tell you about the financials is because that's the kind of mentality you have to have at You have to have that mentality. You have to have somebody that knows that you can't make money in order to be rich. Because if we can't be rich, we can't take care of our vets, which we're not doing. I will do it. I will take care of it. We can't rebuild our military. What about this? We go over to various places. We give billions of dollars of equipment to the military. One bullet gets fired up in the air. One bullet. And they leave. Iraqis. Practically anybody. So the other day I see we lost 2,300 Humvees. Now how do you lose? I'm thinking 2, 1, 5. What? 2,000? How do you even get them over there? 2,000. And these are really armor-plated, very expensive, I'm sure the finest, which right now the enemy has. Because the bullet got fired. Boom, and there's a bullet. Let's get the hell out of here. The stupid Americans gave us 2,300 of these beautiful vehicles, and we're out, we're done. And we're losing that all the time. They have the best weapons, the best, they don't even have to, they have the ultimate thing. All they have to do is fire a shot in the air, they take over all these arms. They don't have to buy it. They don't have to buy it. The arms dealers are dying because they just, it doesn't work well for the arms. So we need smart leadership. We don't need a leader that takes Sergeant Bergdahl. Sergeant Bergdahl. 6 people killed trying to find him. He's a traitor. He's a no good traitor. In the old days, when our country was strong and respected, you killed the traitors. Mm-hmm. That's right. And I don't mean kill the traitors with a 9-year trial and then an appeal that takes another 5 years. I mean, it worked out very rapidly. And now we have a situation where, think of this. This is the way we deal. We get traitor Sergeant Bergdahl. They get 5 killer leaders that they desperately wanted, who are now back on the battlefields trying to kill everybody, including us. Yeah. You tell me. This is Obama. I call him the 5-for-1 president. You look at the negotiation going on now with Iran. It's disgusting. First of all, it should take a day. We're not sending rockets to the moon. Our chief negotiator in 72 or 73 is in a bicycle race and he breaks his leg. Secretary Kerr, I promise you one thing. I will not be in a bicycle race. I will be on the phone doubling up and tripling up sanctions so that we are in a position to make a decision. That's an amazing negotiation. Because it should go quickly, but that to me is an amazing negotiation. The chief negotiator, the Persians, are very good negotiators. And they go back to Iran and they celebrate the man in the street, the chief negotiator. Obama gets up and makes a speech and says what a great deal we're making. Turned out to be wrong. Just like Obamacare was the big lie. Yep. So many things in Obamacare. The lie. They call it the big lie. Well, Obama said all sorts of things about the deal. Turned out not to be true. In Iran, you saw what happened. They disputed what he said. They turned out to be right. But if you're making a deal, for all of the business people in here, and I see a lot of them, if you're making a deal and you're not finished, and you say, let's take a week off. Now, you know why they're taking all this time off? Because they're doing a lot of bad stuff. It's called tap, tap, tap. I do that. Sometimes I don't want to make a deal. I'm not sure if I want to make a deal. I want to just hold it up a little bit. Maybe I don't want somebody else to make it. I call tap, tap, tap. So I said, hey, listen, can we meet next week? I'm on vacation, blah, blah, blah. In the meantime, I'm looking at 40 different things. Well, that's what they're doing here. It's tap, tap, tap. We're not even meeting. But think of this. If during this period of time, very importantly, during this period of, well, look at this handsome guy. If during this period of time, the person negotiating with me on the other side of the street comes out and strongly says that we're all a bunch of idiots and he's making a great deal or she's making a great deal, and in that case it's not a she because they haven't figured out that the women belong to the men, that's important. But You break up the deal. You leave. Here they are abusing us mentally. They're saying they don't know what they're doing. They're terrible. One of the generals comes out and essentially says we're going to wipe Israel off the face of the map, which is unbelievable and terrible. And we keep negotiating. We keep negotiating. The deal with Iran is disgusting. We should double up and triple up the sanctions, get them back. And having the deal is a wonderful thing, but we have to negotiate from saying we don't know what the art of the deal is. We have people that don't have a clue, and these people are negotiating the most important deals in history. Because when you look at the power of nuclear weapons, and you look at the importance of having deals, or if you have to, something other than a deal. And I don't think you have to do that. Because if we had the right people, you wouldn't be there. But just think, before we take some questions, what takes so long? What takes so long? And what happens is we suggest something, and they say no. And then we suggest something else, and they say no. They just keep saying no. And we keep going down, 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 and now that deal doesn't mean a damn thing. So you have to strengthen up our resolve. You have to get some real negotiators, not Secretary Kerry, who doesn't know what he's doing.
Fire him!
You ready, Secretary Kerry? You're fired. I don't really have to fire him. It's not nice to fire him because he's lying in bed with a broken leg. So what the hell do we have to fire him? He's already sort of fired himself. So we have a great country. We have great people. We have to save our country. We have to save our military. We have to help our vets. We have to get rid of Obama. We have to do so many things. And we can do it. We have to get rid of the executive order where people are allowed to just flee into the country. Just flee right here, like water. And by the way, Mexicans, I love Mexicans. They're great. I have so many friends, Mexicans. But the people that are coming into our country are in many cases brutal. You got the drug guys, you got rapists, you got killers, you got a lot of really bad. And if you think about it, doesn't it make sense? Are they going to send their best and their finest?
No.
I don't think so. No. And then they come in, and you look at what's happening along the border. I met with a border guard, 2 border guards, at a wedding. It was a wedding at one of my clubs. And frankly, I saw the bride, she was beautiful, but I was less interested. I wanted to talk to these 2 guys. They said, "Oh yeah, what do you do?" "I'm border guards. Can you believe it?" I said, "Perfect, let's talk." I said, "Hello, bride, my club, they don't actually pay me anymore if I show up, but I just have to be." And I talked to them, and they said, "Mr. Trump," these were 2 great guys, strong, powerful guys, good guys. They said, "Mr. Trump, you wouldn't believe what we're allowing to come into this country. What we're allowing to come into this country is the ruination of what we all stand for." And these are wonderful, great Americans. And they want to see it, but they're powerless. They're powerless. And they're walking right through the southern border. And I can tell you, and I've said it, I will build a wall that will be so good. Yeah! And I've said this a lot. Without borders, you don't have a country, essentially. You really don't have it. So let's go with some questions and make them wild and crazy and whatever you want. Do we have a mic around here? Is there a mic? Oh, this man has a mic. Okay, give it to this guy right over here in the beautiful blue shirt.
Where's your teleprompter?
I don't have teleprompter.
Yeah!
It's interesting. I actually made the speech. It was close to an hour, and I didn't have teleprompter, and I heard a few notes or anything. It was sort of amazing. And I said, no, if you're running for president, you shouldn't be allowed to use a teleprompter. Because honestly, it's too easy. They write up your speech, you amend it a little bit, you stand up and you read for an hour. You want to test somebody under pressure. It's a lot of pressure. If you're not using teleprompter, it's much harder. To be honest, you have to be much smarter. Okay, man in blue, let's go. Mr. Trump, how are you?
On my way driving up here from Massachusetts, on the highway, I was in Howard Park.
Howie!
Not to keep that off the air with it, I want to report that a lot of people called in and are really excited about the event.
That's like, he's a nice guy. Howard is he's really
I'm not a politician. I am an inventor with multiple patents, a serial entrepreneur, and a writer. And a quick comment about immigration, because I know how important that is. From that position, I've developed an economic model that eliminates the magnet from them coming here. If they don't want to come here, it's easier to keep them out. It's a two-pronged attack. One is economic, and one is defense.
It's just the longest question.
That
He's
being
a nice
said,
guy. You drove from Essex. Let him go.
that being
How
said,
much longer will you question? Okay? Don't tell me you're gonna present.
I've written something and I'd like to give this.
He's giving me a proposal. Okay, give me the proposal.
Give me $1 million.
Give me the proposal. I'm gonna take it.
Thank you.
The checks in the mail. Okay, thank you. Well, it was a lot of work. You should have just said it. Go ahead, right over here.
Thank you, Mr. Trump. I want to thank you for the thank you note that you sent me for my rather rodeo-like opinion in the union leader.
I know that. Union leaders were.
I
The union leader, by the way, they've been so fair to me. And they are terrific. And Mr. McQuaid is a fantastic man, I will tell you. Go ahead.
I'm going to give you a break. I don't have a question. I have a comment. I want to thank you for taking this on. We don't need to, we know that you don't need to do it. I want to remind everybody that my 9-year-old daughter up here, adopted from Arizona, that, ladies and gentlemen, that's the generation that's going to pay the price for this last 6 years. So thank you.
Come on, let's have a question from a woman. Where's the mic? Okay, let's go. Go ahead. Come on.
Mr. Trump,
Yes.
as president,
Where are you? Right there.
as president, will the citizens of this great country get the truth about Benghazi, the IRS scandal, Fast and Furious, the VA administration, and the lost Secretary of State Hillary Clinton emails? And will there be any accountability for such a gross negligence?
You're right. So let me just say. So I'm a Republican, I'm a conservative. I even have to be, I'm Protestant, can you believe nobody knows?
That's good.
I'm a Presbyterian.
Yay.
So I'm a conservative Republican Presbyterian, that's nice. You know what? What you're asking is very interesting because we know where the Democrats are coming from. We know where the liberal Democrats and the liberals are coming from. But what you're asking is something that I really get angry about. The Republicans and our Republican politicians, they act indignant over the emails. Indignant for about 2 days.
Yeah.
They act indignant over Benghazi. Oh, Benghazi, Benghazi. You don't hear about it. They act indignant over whether it's IRS or any of the other things you mentioned. And it lasts for a couple of days. And then they go back and they get their check and they go and run for office. And in many cases, they run for president. They have no stick to this. They don't really care. Maybe they don't want to upset the apple cart. So I know where the Democrats stand, and I fully understand that. It's okay. What I'm disappointed is our Republican politicians. It's all talk and no action. Always. 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 Now think of it, the emails. The legendary Rosemary Woods. Anybody here? Rosemary?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. 18
Was it
minutes.
18 minutes of a day?
Yeah.
Here's hundreds of hours and days and months of emails. That's our modern day tape, right? Nothing happens. You get a subpoena, and you say, oh, I have a subpoena from the United States Congress. And you delete everything. You get rid of everything. The service goes. Everything's done. Now, that's Rosemary Woods. Or, if that's a Republican conservative, they've done so. It's over. So what happens is we have two standards. We have a double standard.
Yeah.
But we have Republican politicians who don't even talk about this anymore. And I happen to think it's the most serious thing to talk about. So I can only pledge to you the following. I will be bringing it up, and if I win, that will become the central part. What you said, I think it's going to be my best question, Matt, because what you said is so important. But the ones I'm really disappointed, we have had so many opportunities to do some real productive work, and the Republican politicians don't have the guts to do it. They don't have the guts. So, well, all politicians, but the Republican politicians, the Democrats, we know where they are. The Republican politicians, frankly, are Republican. They should be ashamed. Thank you very much.
You know, I'm a little confused on one of the questions. As you know, we met on veterans issues.
Yeah, I remember.
When you say we're gonna save the veterans, and I'm speaking for veterans, we don't wanna be saved. I need to know, what do you
You want to be
by-
taken care of.
Right, we want promises that we're making. We want veterans health care, PTSD, TBI.
Right.
I wanna know what is your intent? How are you gonna do this? Because we've heard it over and over.
Okay.
And I know you're a man who
Right, and you know it, and you know. The veterans, and not only here, all over the United States have been treated like third-class citizens. And I meet with them. I was, as we discussed at our meeting, I was very much responsible for the Vietnam Memorial in New York. And by the way, to this day, with all the buildings I built, and all the things, rinks in Central Park, and all the things I've done, nobody has ever been nicer to me than Vietnam vets. To this day, I'm walking down the street, vets come up and they say, thank you for what I did. I held one of the most successful parades in the history of New York after it was a disaster the year before. We discussed that. The Veterans Day Parade in New York City down Fifth Avenue. One of the largest parades. So I fully understand, and I fully understand what you're saying. And the fact is, our vets have to be helped. And the word help, they don't want, they want to be helped. They did an incredible job for us. Many of these people are in very bad shape. Very bad shape because of the job they did for us. So we're going to get involved, including with your group, as we had, I think, did we have a great meeting? I thought it was a great meeting. But we're going to get involved with your group, we're going to do a lot of things. And not only in New Hampshire, it's going to be all over the United States. And frankly, in New Hampshire, it's not a good situation, but you have some states where it's catastrophic for the vets.
You know,
We will really help the vets, and we will take care of the vets, and we'll rebuild our military body.
You know, you're one of the first. You know, you're one of the very few that come into the state that first wants to meet with the veteran community, and I was impressed with that.
Well, I appreciate it. I even made a donation, right?
Yes.
Bigger donation than anybody ever thought. They hit pay dirt. Did they hit pay dirt? That's good. And you know what it is? It's worth it because they're unbelievable people. I wouldn't be standing here right now except for the vets. So anyway, so it's great. Who's got the mic? Give it to this man. Looks like another vet. Are you another vet?
Yes, sir.
Let's go. Give me a
United States
question.
Air Force, Vietnam.
Very good. You
My-
know about the Vietnam Memorial in New York? Down by Wall Street. Okay, good.
I grew up in North
Good
Jersey.
location. That's it. You know about it.
Yes, sir. My question is your commitment to the Second Amendment.
Total. So, the Second Amendment has to be just cherished. Now listen, and you know, I have friends that are smart guys, they're not into it, they're not into the Second Amendment. So the other day, I'm watching television, and because of our great prison system up in New York, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We have these two guys who are serious, these are seriously dangerous people. Seriously, no worse than who?
No worse than the 5 you let go of.
Well, the five, yeah, the five. The five are pretty bad, okay. She's got a lot to say, she's good. But you have these two guys that ingeniously got out of this prison, maximum security prison. And it's like an unbelievable thing. And they're interviewing people in the town. And a woman gets up and she said, you know, I have had for years debates with my husband. I didn't want guns and he did. And now I'm so glad we have them. We have one in every drawer, every table. They're all, because they don't want to be visited, you understand it. They don't want to be visited by these two characters that just got out. And it was very interesting because she said she fought her husband for years. And now they're so glad. I will protect and preserve. All right, we're on the Second Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. And the money will come from making smart deals instead of stupid deals with other countries. Believe me, our country has a chance to be so rich again, and so strong again, and so great again. But it's not going to be with the kind of thinking that we have in office right now. Okay, yes, ma'am, right here.
You talk about making America great again,
Right.
and I'm just wondering what you think can be done to unite the American people and keep the American dream alive.
Well, the American dream is heading south fast, you know, through regulation, through all the problems, through tremendous unemployment, through hatred. You know, when Obama got elected, I said one thing. I said, the minimum that's going to happen is he's going to be a great cheerleader for the country. I really thought it could be good, unite the country. And I really felt that he could be a great spirit for the country, great branding for the country. You know, my daughter, Ivanka, anybody heard of Ivanka?
Yes,
By the
yes.
way, she did such a great job of introducing me.
Yesterday, yeah, that was great.
A lot of cameras, live cameras all over the place. The place was packed. Ivanka did a fantastic job.
She was
So-
nervous.
I should have brought her.
Yeah.
So she told me a story that when she was a young girl in Czechoslovakia, because her grandparents are from Czechoslovakia, communist country at the time, and she would go there, and people, many of the Czech people, had dollar bills posted on the windshield of their car, because that was a sign of prestige. They were so proud of that dollar bill. They were so proud of the brand, the American brand, that they would tape dollar bills onto the windshield, onto the glass. And I said, yeah, I've never heard that story. And she said, Dad, it's about branding. They loved the brand. They loved the United States brand. They loved our brand. That doesn't happen anymore. And I really thought that President Obama, at a minimum, would be, and by the way, different party, different everything, I would love him to be a great president. It's not going to happen. But I would love, if you were a great president, I'd stand before you and say, you know what, we have a great president. And most of the people in this room, other than the stupid people, would say that's great for the country. I don't care about party, I would love for him to be great. If he were a great president, I would say he was a great president. But we can't say that. But think of that story with the dollar bill. I thought it was so poignant and so amazing when Ivanka told it to me. And now you go and there's nothing. In fact, now we're laughed at, we're mocked, we're scorned, we're not respected. That's one of the reasons ISIS, you guys in the military guys, they have no respect for us. Do you ever see a thing where we have a war and we tell them everything we're going to do?
No.
We're going in 2 weeks, we're going to be doing this, we're going to be doing that, with this, that, blah, blah, blah. And I'm saying, can you imagine General MacArthur
Yeah, right.
and General George Patton, they're spinning in their graves.
Yeah.
They had no.
We catch a mid-level, upper mid-level accounting guy from ISIS a couple of weeks ago. Instead of capturing him and killing him and keeping it quiet, what do we do? News conferences. Well, now all the other thousands of them are all scattered and they are. Okay? Why the hell can't we shut up?
Yeah.
Shut up. So, we have so far to go. It's so sad. I mean, it's just so sad. Yes, ma'am. Back there. Yes.
You have to read them their rights.
Welcome back to New Hampshire, Mr. Trump.
Thank you.
I've actually done your makeup before. I'm a makeup artist politically.
Good. Oh, good.
So-
When did you do my makeup? When?
Well, next, but I'm talking tonight
Wait,
to you.
before you stop.
Yeah.
Is this my real hair?
It's looking great though.
No, it's right.
Yes.
That's right. When I did a big show up here, she put a little makeup on, I said,
Yeah.
it's my hair. It is my hair. That's it.
I made you up for a convention in New York City too. But anyways, we go back.
Thank you.
But I'm here to talk to you about something that I've been already talking to other campaigns about. Okay, I've talked to Hillary Clinton's advisory board. I've been traveling around a little bit with Governor Christie. A year ago, my stepdaughter died of a heroin overdose.
Right, big problem.
There were so many gateway drugs that got her to the death, okay?
I understand.
And there was very limited opportunity for help, especially here in New Hampshire. And this is a